The rain hammered the windshield like God's own judgment, turning the world outside into a blurred smear of neon and regret. David slammed his fist against the steering wheel, the horn blaring into the empty Brooklyn street, a futile scream that echoed his own. "Fuck you, Dad," he whispered, the words tasting like bile, as the call from his mother ended with that final, slicing silence. "You're no son of mine anymore." David wiped the rain from his face. But it was useless. The storm inside him raged harder than the one soaking New York City that October night in 2018. He'd driven straight from the family dinner in Queens, the one his parents had insisted on for James's big announcement. A down payment on a house in Westchester, courtesy of Mom and Dad's life savings. A colonial with a white picket fence, the kind of American dream that screamed straight, successful, worthy. And David? He'd sat there, fork midway to his mouth, as his father raised a glass to his golden boy brother, the one who'd married Emily last spring, the one who did things right. "You're happy for him, aren't you, Davy?" his mother had asked, her smile brittle as the china plates. But her eyes, those sharp, appraising eyes, had flicked to the rainbow pin on his jacket lapel, the one he'd worn defiantly since coming out 2 years ago. Happy? He was gutted. The house wasn't just bricks and mortar. It was validation, inheritance, the erasure of him. He tried to play it cool, cracking a joke about James finally having a garage for his midlife crisis sports car. Laughter rippled around the table. Polite, obligatory. Then his father leaned in, voice low like he was sharing stock tips. "You could have that too, son. Find a nice girl. Settle down. This phase of yours? It's not too late to fix it." The table went quiet. James shifted uncomfortably, Emily's hand squeezing his under the cloth. David felt the heat rise in his chest, that familiar burn of being the family ghost. "Not a phase, Dad," he'd said, steady as he could. "It's me. And I'm done pretending." The explosion was swift. His mother's gasp, the clatter of silverware. "David, not here. Not tonight." But his father was already red-faced, slamming his napkin down. "You've shamed us enough. James is building a life, grandkids, stability. You're out there in that godforsaken city, chasing whatever this is. We raised you better." James had tried to intervene, mumbling something about "cool it, Pop," but David saw the flicker in his brother's eyes, relief, maybe, that the spotlight swung away. By dessert, David was excused, keys in hand, the rain starting as he hit the Van Wyck Expressway. Now, parked crookedly outside his cramped Bushwick apartment, he killed the engine and sat there, phone buzzing with unread texts from his mother. "Come back. We can talk. Don't ruin James's night." Ruin it? Like he hadn't been the ruin all along. The building loomed, a 5-story walk-up with graffiti-tagged stoop and the faint smell of weed from the bodega below. Home sweet home. David grabbed his jacket, sodden, useless, and trudged up the stairs, each creak a reminder of how far he'd fallen. At 28, he was a graphic designer freelancing for indie bands and queer zines, scraping by on ramen and rejection emails. No safety net, no family fallback. Just him, against the world that still whispered faggot in certain zip codes. Inside, the apartment was a mess of half-finished sketches and empty beer cans, a shrine to arrested potential. He stripped off his wet clothes, the mirror in the bathroom reflecting a body honed by too many gym sessions to outrun the loneliness. Lean muscles, ink on his ribs. A quote from Whitman, "I am large. I contain multitudes. Multitudes that included this ache, this fury." He poured a whiskey neat as the life James was handed, and scrolled through Instagram. There it was, James's post, the house keys gleaming under professional lighting. Caption, "New chapter with my favorite people. Grateful beyond words. Family first, home sweet home." Comments flooded in. Congrats from cousins, aunts, old high school buds. David's name nowhere. He typed a heart emoji, deleted it. Typed proud of you, bro. Deleted that too. What was there to say? Thanks for the scraps? The whiskey burned going down. But not enough. He needed air, noise, anything to drown the echo of his father's voice. A quick scroll through Grindr, not tonight. Too raw. Instead, he texted his best friend, Mia, the dyke bartender from the Rusty Nail. Ditched family dinner. Need shots. You in? Her reply was instant. Hell yes. Meet at the bar in 20. Bring your sad boy face. I got you. The Rusty Nail was a dive in Williamsburg. All exposed brick and fairy lights strung like halos over the sticky bar. Queer as the day is long, with Dolly Parton on the jukebox and a back patio for hookups under the stars. Mia was already there, perched on a stool, her buzz cut fresh and tattooed arms crossed like she was daring the world. "Spill," she said, sliding a tequila sunrise his way without asking. He did, words tumbling out between sips. The house, the toast, the phase. Mia listened, her dark eyes narrowing. Then she slammed her fist on the bar. Those homophobic pricks. James gets the castle. You get the drawbridge pulled up? Classic straight bro privilege. David laughed. Bitter. It's not just him. It's them. Like I'm the black sheep who wandered too far. You're the rainbow ram, babe. And rainbows win in the end. She clinked her glass to his. To fortune's reversal. May it come swift and shitty on their parade. Fortune's reversal. The words stuck. A seed in the storm. They drank until the edges blurred. Mia dragging stories out of him, high school cruelties. The first boy he kissed behind the bleachers. The night he told his parents and watched their love curdle. By last call, he was loose, lighter, stumbling home with her arm around his waist. Sleep came fitful, dreams of houses crumbling, brothers turning to stone. Morning brought a hangover and a voicemail from James. Hey, man. Last night sucked. Dad's an asshole sometimes. Call me? David hit delete. Not yet. Not when the wound was fresh. Work pulled him through. A deadline for a queer lit festival poster. Bold lines and vibrant hues that screamed we are here. He lost himself in the flow. Coffee black and music loud. Frank Ocean crooning about lost lovers. By afternoon, the design was done. Emailed off with a flourish. His client, Alex Rivera, replied almost immediately. This is fire, David. Exactly the vulnerability we need. Coffee to celebrate, Alex. The name sparked something. They'd emailed back and forth for weeks, him a curator for the fest, her a rising star in the lit scene. Non-binary, sharp wit, pronouns they slash them in every sig. David hesitated, thumb hovering. Why not? Fortune's reversal started somewhere. They met at a cafe in Bed-Stuy, all mismatched chairs and pour-over obsession. Alex arrived in a thrifted blazer over a band tee, hair cropped short and dyed electric blue, Smile like a secret shared. The poster's a masterpiece, they said, hugging him hello, warm, unhurried. You captured that ache, the beauty in the break. Over lattes, talk flowed easy. Books, Audre Lorde over Hemingway. Cities, Alex from Chicago. Drawn to NYC's pulse. And quietly, the closets they'd kicked down. My folks cut me off too, Alex admitted, stirring their drink. Funded my sister's wedding but not my art school. Said it was tough love, more like tough luck for them. David felt seen, the knot in his chest loosening. Mine just handed my brother the keys to the kingdom. Literally. Alex's laugh was low, conspiratorial. Siblings? Huh? The original frenemies. Their knee brushed his under the table. Not accident. Not quite intent. Sparks. They parted with plans for the fest opening. Numbers exchanged. David walked home buzzing, the city alive in a way it hadn't been. Maybe this was it, the turn. But as he unlocked his door, another text from his mother, James is worried. Come for Sunday brunch? We love you. Love. The word twisted like a knife. He typed maybe, hit send, then regretted it. Sunday came gray and reluctant. The family home in Queens was the same. Manicured lawn, American flag on the porch, the scent of bacon wafting from the kitchen. David arrived late, jacket slung over his arm like armor. His mother hugged him tight, whispering, "Thank God," while his father grunted from behind the paper. James clapped him on the back, Emily beaming beside him. Bro, good to see you. Brunch was Eggs Benedict and small talk. James's new job promo. Emily's pregnancy glow. David nodded along, the house keys on the sideboard a silent taunt. Then his father cleared his throat. David, about Friday. I spoke harsh. But it's out of love. We want you. Settled. Settled how? Dad? Like James. The words slipped out, sharper than intended. His mother's fork paused. James coughed. Davy, come on. No, really. You drop $500,000 on his house. But for me, prayers and pamphlets from your church group. David's voice cracked, the room shrinking. His father flushed. That money's for legacy. Grandkids. Not your lifestyle. Lifestyle. David stood, chair scraping. It's my life, Dad. And it's not a sin. It's me loving who I love. The silence stretched, broken only by Emily's soft, please, let's not. But David was done. He grabbed his jacket, storming out to the sound of his mother's sob. In the car, tears came hot and fast. Legacy. As if he wasn't part of it. Back in Brooklyn, he dove into work, the fest looming. Rehearsals with Alex turned flirty. Shared smokes on fire escapes, hands lingering. One night, after a late edit session in Alex's loft, they kissed. Slow, tentative, then hungry. Alex's body against his, all heat and whisper, stay. He did. Dawn found them tangled in sheets, the city humming below. This feels real, David murmured, tracing Alex's jaw. It is, they replied. I serious. Scary real. Weeks blurred into the fest. Panels on queer narratives. David's poster everywhere. Success tasted sweet. Crowds nodding at his work. James texted congrats. A photo of the house half unpacked. David replied with a thumbs up. Détente. but fortunes will turns. One crisp November morning, his phone rang, unknown number. David? This is Emily. James. He was in an accident. Hit and run on the sawmill. He's at Westchester Med. Critical. The world tilted. David sped north. Heart pounding. The colonial house flashing in his mind. Not a taunt now, but a beacon of what might be lost. In the sterile hall, his parents huddled, faces ashen. His mother fell into his arms, sobbing. Our boy. James lay hooked to machines, bruises blooming like accusations. David took his hand, cold and still. Hang on, bro. We got unfinished business. Vigil began, coffee dregs and whispered prayers. His father, voice rough, I was wrong, son. About everything. David nodded, too exhausted for absolution. Days stretched. James stabilized, then rallied. A miracle, the doc said. In recovery, bandaged and sheepish, he gripped David's arm. The house. It's yours too, man. Half. Always was. David shook his head. Keep it. Build your legacy. I'll build mine. But the reversal lingered. A crack in the foundation. As snow dusted the city, David and Alex plotted their future, maybe Chicago, or staying put. Love, fragile as fresh ink, bloomed. Yet shadows loomed. A letter from his father's lawyer. The will, rewritten overnight, equal shares for both sons. No caveats. Just love, Dad. David burned it in the sink, ashes swirling. Forgiveness wasn't a document. It was harder, human. Winter clamped down on New York like a vice, the kind that squeezed the air from your lungs and turned sidewalks into ice rinks of peril. David navigated it all with Alex at his side, their relationship a warm counterpoint to the chill. Mornings started with stolen kisses in Alex's loft, the scent of fresh bagels from the corner deli mingling with the tang of oil paints. Alex's latest project, a series on queer saints, canvases splashed with defiant reds and golds. You're my muse, they'd tease, smudging charcoal on his cheek, and David would laugh, pulling them close, bodies fitting like puzzle pieces long separated. But the call from Queens lingered like frostbite. James's accident had been a drunk driver, some asshole in a pickup who fled the scene, leaving twisted metal and a brother's life hanging by 4 threads. The cops had a lead, but justice felt distant, abstract. Closer was the family fracture, mending unevenly. Sunday visits became routine. David's mother fussing over hospital jello, his father thawing with gruff offers of deli sandwiches. Your favorite, pastrami on rye. James, propped up in bed, cracked weak jokes about trading the house for a wheelchair ramp. One afternoon, as snow flurried outside the window, James pulled David aside. Listen, man. That night at dinner, I should have said something. Stood up. Instead, I let it slide cause. Shit. It was easy. The house, the praise. Felt like I earned it. David leaned against the bed rail, arms crossed. You did earn it. Job, wife, the whole picket fence script. Me? I was the improv act nobody scripted for. James winced, tubes snaking from his arm. Nah. You're the star, Davy. Always were, the one with the art, the fire. I envied that, you know? Playing it safe felt like winning till it almost killed me. The words hung, heavy as the beeping monitors. Envy? From James, the favored one. David searched his brother's face, pale, earnest, and saw the boy they'd been, building forts in the backyard, whispering secrets under blankets. "We're good, bro," he said finally, clapping James's shoulder. "Just next time, speak up. For both of us." Discharge came mid-December. James wheeled out to Emily's waiting SUV, the house prepped with rails and a home nurse. David followed in his beat-up Civic, the drive north a blur of salted roads and radio carols that twisted the knife. "I'll be home for Christmas." Home. The word was elastic now, stretching from Bushwick lofts to suburban colonials. The house tour was awkward theater. Gleaming kitchen island, master suite with ensuite spa bath, a nursery half-painted in soft blues. "For the bean," Emily said, hand on her swell, eyes bright. David's parents hovered, his mother linking arms with him like fragile china. "Isn't it lovely? Your brother worked so hard." His father nodded, avoiding eyes. "Could use your touch, David. Those designs of yours. Maybe jazz up the den." It was an olive branch, crooked and small. David forced a smile. "Sure, Pop. I'll sketch something." That night, back in the city, Alex sensed the weight. They curled on the couch, fairy lights twinkling, a bottle of Pinot between them. "Spill the tea," Alex prompted, feet in David's lap. He did. The house's opulence, the tentative thaw. "It's like they're trying, but it's all conditional. Fix me, then forgive." Alex set the glass down. Serious. "Human stuff's messy, babe. My fam's the same, holidays with side eyes and passive-aggressive fruitcake. But you showing up? That's power. You're rewriting the script." Their lips met, soft then urgent, hands mapping familiar territories. Making love that night was reclamation. Slow grinds and gasped names, Alex's nails raking his back as release crashed like waves. Afterward, tangled and spent, David traced the constellation of freckles on Alex's shoulder. "What if I want more? Not just us, but them." "Then fight for it," Alex murmured, sleep heavy. "You're worth the war." Christmas Eve brought the first real storm. Not snow, but secrets unearthed. David arrived at the house arms laden with gifts, custom prints for Emily, a vintage Mets jersey for James, sketchbooks for his folks. The tree glittered, stockings plump, Bing Crosby crooning from hidden speakers. Dinner was roast beef and Yorkshire puddings, his mother's attempt at fancy, conversation skirting edges like the accident and your work. Then, post-pie, his father disappeared into the study, emerging with a manila envelope. "David." A word. The den was leather and oak. Bookshelves lined with Tom Clancy and family photos. James's wedding prominent. David's college grad buried in the back. His father sank into the armchair, gesturing to the couch. "Sit." David did, wary. The envelope slid across the coffee table. "What's this?" "Open it." "Papers. Deeds. Trusts. Half the house. In David's name. No strings." His father's voice was gravel. "After the crash. Saw how close we came to losing everything. Your family, son. Gay. Straight. Doesn't matter. This is yours." David's throat tightened. "Why now?" After the slurs, the silence, his father rubbed his jaw, eyes distant. "Fear, I guess. Raised in the church. Old ways die hard. Thought I was protecting you. Tough love. like my old man did me. But seeing James like that, life's too short for bullshit. Tears pricked. David clutched the papers. It's a start, Dad. But love's not in ink. It's in the saying it. His father nodded. Awkward. I love you, boy. Always have. The hug was stiff, paternal, but real. David emerged to find his mother waiting, eyes red. He told you? Yeah. He pulled her close. Merry Christmas, Mom. The night softened, James toasting to brothers, Emily snapping candids. But as David drove south, envelope on the passenger seat, doubt crept. Was this reversal genuine, or crash-induced guilt? New Year's dawned crisp. Resolutions whispered over mimosas at Alex's. They clinked glasses to new chapters, then tumbled back to bed, bodies celebrating the calendar flip. Work ramped. David's designs landed a gig with a major queer mag, pays bumping him to stable adjacent. Alex's exhibit sold out, critics buzzing about raw humanity, but fortune's shadow lengthened. Late January, a call from Emily. David? James is spiraling. PT's kicking his ass. And he confessed something. About the money for the house. David's blood chilled. What? He borrowed from work. Embezzled, they think. The down payment? Not all clean. The pieces slotted. James's promo. The sudden windfall. David raced north, finding his brother in the garage. Tools scattered. Face gaunt. Tell me. James deflated. It was supposed to be a loan. Fix a glitch in the books. Pay back quick. But the market tanked. And panicked. Told Mom and Dad it was a bonus. Betrayal stung fresh. Not just the lie, but the ease of it. The straight son's sins forgiven where David's truths were sins. You let them paint me the villain while you played thief? James's eyes pleaded. I was ashamed, man. Needed to prove I was the good one. But you're better, always were. David paced, fury boiling. Call the cops. Come clean. I can't. Emily. The baby. Fuck that. Lies bury people. He stormed out, leaving James crumpled. Back in the city, he unloaded on Alex over takeout Thai. Family's a scam. Brother steals. Gets the house. I love openly. Get disowned. Alex pulled him close. Not all scams. We're real. Hold that. But the rift widened. His parents called. Frantic. Auditors sniffing. James lawyered up. Help us. David. His mother begged. For family. He hung up, gut churning. Help? After years of sinner? February brought the hearing. James pleading guilty to misdemeanor fraud, probation and restitution. The house stayed, payments restructured, but shame clung like damp. David testified character. Flawed but redeemable, voice steady, heart splintered. Spring thawed the literal ice, but emotions froze. Alex sensed the pull. You're drifting, babe. Back to them, David sighed, window gazing at cherry blossoms. Trying to forgive. Human thing, right? One night, post-fight, Alex accusing him of emotional checkout, they made up fiercely. Sex a battlefield of need and apology. Don't lose us for them, Alex gasped. Climax shuddering. I won't, David promised. But whispers of doubt echoed. The climax brewed in May, James's birthday bash at the house, a subdued affair with barbecue and blues on the stereo. David arrived with Alex in tow. introducing them as my person. Awkward handshakes, his mother's tight smile. Lovely to meet you. As dusk fell, beers in hand on the patio, James cornered him. Thanks for the testimony. Saved my ass. David shrugged. Blood's blood. Then James's voice dropped. There's more. The accident, not random. I was meeting a guy from work. The embezzlement, covering gambling debts from hookups. Straight life's a lie, Davy. I've been by all along, hiding like a coward. The world reeled. Brother, by the favored son. Fractured too? Why tell me now? 'Cause you're free. Teach me how. David's laugh was hollow. Freedom's not a gift. It's a fight. They hugged. Brothers at last. Secrets shared. But as fireworks popped for no reason, Alex pulled David aside. We need to talk. Their eyes were stormy. This pull back home, it's changing you. Us. No. Yes. I'm scared you're choosing them over. This. Tears welled. Betrayal. Again, not malice, but drift. I love you, David choked. Then prove it. Choose. The night ended in fracture. David driving Alex home. Silence thick. At their door. A kiss goodbye. Tasting of end. Summer scorched the northeast like a fever dream. Humidity turning the air to soup and tempers to tinder. David wandered his apartment like a ghost. Alex's absence a hollow in his chest wider than the Brooklyn Bridge. Their breakup, if that's what the quiet packing of boxes constituted, had been civil, American in its politeness. I need space, Alex said, duffel over shoulder, to breathe without the family gravity. David hadn't fought, just nodded, the door click echoing like a guillotine. Nights blurred into freelance gigs and bar stools at the Rusty Nail, Mia pouring sympathy shots. They'll come around, she lied, knowing better. Or you will. Hearts heal crooked, but they heal. David drowned in what-ifs. What if he'd chosen Alex outright? What if James's confession hadn't tipped the scales? The house deed sat unsigned on his kitchen counter, a paperweight of obligation. He visited Sundays, dutiful barbecues where his father grilled, literally and figuratively, his mother pressing Tupperware into his hands. James, crutches ditched, played proud uncle-to-be, belly laughs masking the cracks. One sweltering July afternoon, post-lunch lull, his father cornered him in the garden shed, amid rakes and fertilizer bags. Sign the damn thing, son. It's yours. David wiped sweat from his brow. And what? Pop, play happy family while everything's half-lies. His father's face crumpled, rare vulnerability cracking the stoic mask. Lies? James told you, then. About him. Everything. The gambling. The guys. You're okay with that? A pause. Heavy as the heat. Wasn't at first. Kicked him out for a night. Hollered like a fool. But he's my boy. Like you. We adapt. Adapt. David's voice rose. You mean tolerate? I didn't get tolerance, I got sermons. His father deflated, sitting on a lawnmower like it was a throne of regret. Truth? Scared shitless. Church said it was wrong. Devil's work. But losing you then almost James showed me wronger. Sign it, David. Not for me. For you. Legacy's what you build, not what we hand down. David took the pen, scrawled his name. Ink dried like a seal on uneasy peace. But peace? It itched. August brought the baby. Little Sophie, red-faced and wailing into the world at White Plains Hospital. David held her first, tiny fist curling around his finger, eyes wide at this new giant. "Auntie David," James joked, Emily dozing beside. His mother snapped photos, his father beaming, "Grandpa," the word foreign and fitting. In that sterile room, with monitors beeping lullabies, something shifted. Human frailty, laid bare. A brother's hidden storms. A father's bent pride. A child's blank slate. David texted Alex a photo, "Meet Sophie. Wish you were here." Dots danced. "Then she's beautiful. Congrats." No more. Work surged. A book cover for a coming-out memoir. Lines echoing his own. Success whispered. Maybe Portland. Fresh start. But roots tugged. Familial vines thick as kudzu. September's equinox marked the reversal's zenith. James's probation hearing. David testifying again, reformed, resilient. Judge nodded. Sentence light. Post-court beers at a dive near the courthouse. Brothers shoulder to shoulder. "You saved me twice," James said. Foam on his lip. "Oh, you eternal." David clinked bottles. "Pay it forward. Come out. On your terms." "Emily knows." James nodded. "She's solid. By herself. Turns out. We talk now, really talk." Laughter bubbled. Genuine. "Fortune's a bitch. Huh? Flips when you least expect." Fall leaves turned the suburbs to fire. Crunching underfoot as David walked the house grounds. Sketching expansions, a studio wing. Queer art gallery vibe. His father approved. Budget be damned. "Make it yours." But romance's void gnawed. Grinder swipes yielded flakes. Bar pickups hollow. One rainy night, post-Mia rant. He drove to Alex's old loft, lights on. New tenant's shadow moving. Heart sank. Gone. October's chill brought confrontation. Family dinner. Sophie gurgling in a high chair. Tension simmering like stew. Midway through mashed potatoes, his mother set down her fork. "David, we've been patient. When do we meet?" Someone. The table stilled. James smirked. His father cleared his throat. David's pulse thrummed. "Working on it. Life's not a schedule." "But the house," his mother pressed, "is bricks. Love's the rest." He stood. Abrupt. "Appreciate the meal." Night. Outside. Rain slicked the driveway. Memories flooding. That post-dinner storm years back. His exile. Now, he was invited, but the welcome felt least. He drove aimlessly, ending at the Rusty Nail. Mia arched a brow. "Rough night. Worse." He spilled. "The pressure. The loneliness. Feels like I'm performing straight adjacent to keep the peace." She poured a double. "Then rewrite the role. Drag em to your world." Inspiration struck. The house's den. His father's half-assed olive branch. Why not fill it with truth? November elections buzzed. Midterms a queer rights flashpoint. David channeled it, a mural project for the Fest sequel. Community walls splashed with stories. Alex's name surfaced in emails. Guest curator. Heart stuttered. Collaborate. Their meeting at a coffee shop near the High Line was charged neutrality. Handshakes, not hugs. "Heard about the baby," Alex said, stirring oat milk. "Cute. Yeah. Life's weird. Awkward beat." "The mural. Your eye for narrative?" They nodded, cautious. "I'm in. But boundaries, David. Friends first. Friends. The word chafed, but he agreed. Sessions began. Sketches on cafe napkins, walks along the Hudson debating color theory and consent. Sparks flickered, unacknowledged brushed hands, lingering glances. One dusk, wind whipping, Alex paused. Missed this. Us creating. Me too. Voice low. All of it. Eyes met. Pull magnetic. But Alex stepped back. Slow. I got burned. David nodded. Chastened. Patience. The American virtue he sucked at. Thanksgiving loomed. Family obligatory. The house bustled. Turkey brining. Sophie toddling. David arrived with pies from a queer bakery. Rainbow crusts. Inside joke. Laughter at the reveal. His mother's polite lovely. But undercurrents swirled. James pulling him aside. Emily wants couples counseling. For us both. David clapped his back. Good. Own your shit. Dinner prayers invoked gratitude. His father's voice cracking on unity. Plates passed. Stories swapped. James's closet youth. David's first pride. Vulnerability. Tentative. Post-feast. Dishes sudsing. His mother cornered him. Proud of you, honey. The art. The strength. Tears pricked. Means a lot, but fortune teased. A call mid-pumpkin pie from Alex. Emergency. Mural sites vandalized. Slurs everywhere. David bolted, leaving apologies. The wall, his and Alex's canvas, dripped red paint, fags burn. Heart hammered, hate, visceral. Alex stood there, face pale, fists clenched. They hit us where it hurts. David pulled them close, rain mingling with tears. Not us. Them. We're unbreakable. Cleanup stretched hours. Volunteers trickling in Mia. Fest folks. By midnight, the wall reborn. Slurs transformed to affirmations, bold and brighter. Alex's hand in his, squeeze saying maybe. December's solstice whispered hope. First snow dusting the city like forgiveness. David and Alex dated tentative dinners, no overnights. Rebuilding, they called it. James's housewarming redo invited them. Bring your +1. The party hummed. Lanterns strung. Sophie in a tiny Santa hat. Parents polite to Alex. Questions gentle. What do you do? His father asked. Beer in hand. Curate stories, Alex replied. Steady. The ones that matter. Nod of approval. Progress. But climax brewed in the new year. James's secret spilling wider. A work colleague, drunk at the party, cornered David. Your bro's a hypocrite. Preaches family values. Bangs guys on the DL. Whispers spread. Emily's face crumpling. Guests averting eyes. Chaos erupted. Shouts in the kitchen. James fleeing to the garage. David followed, finding him heaving sobs over the workbench. It's out. All of it. David knelt. Breathe. We'll fix. No fix. Lost everything. Not me. Not family if they choose love. His parents burst in. Faces thunderous then softening. His mother, James? Is it true? He nodded. Broken. Sorry. So sorry. Silence. Then his father's arm around him. Son. We got you. The party dissolved. But bonds held messy. Mended. David drove Alex home through flurries. Tonight was hell. But real, they said. Hand on his thigh. Like us. They made love that night, slow and sacred, bodies affirming what words couldn't. Fortune reversed. Not perfect, but human. January 2020 dawned with a bite. The kind that nipped at your heels and reminded you winter wasn't done punishing. The house party fallout lingered like a hangover. James holed up, Emily shuttling between therapy and tantrums, his parents tiptoeing through a minefield of revelations. David played mediator, phone glued to his ear, shuttling apologies and affirmations. It's not the end, he'd tell James, voice steady as rebar. It's the middle. Messy middle, but his own middle churned. Alex, back in his bed most nights, brought light. Lazy mornings with vinyl spinning Joni Mitchell, sketches traded like love notes. Yet doubt whispered, was this reversal his doing, or just timing's cruel joke? The mural's rebirth had gone viral, queer media hailing it defiance in pigment, commissions flooding his inbox. Success, American style, hustle paying off, but at what cost to the heart? Valentine's crept up, commercial as a Hallmark fever. David planned simple. Rooftop picnic in Alex's building, despite the cold thermos of mulled wine. Blankets, stars pricking the skyline. To us, he toasted, clinking mugs. The unscripted, Alex leaned in, breath warm. To rewriting, their kiss deepened, hands wandering under wool, the city below a distant hum. Back inside, urgency built, clothes shed in the hall, bodies crashing onto the futon in a tangle of limbs and laughter. Alex's gasps, David's name on their lips like prayer. Climax shattered them, afterglow stitching doubts. But fortune's hand is fickle. February brought pandemic whispers, Wuhan, quarantines, a virus slinking west. David dismissed it at first, buried in a gallery show. His pieces alongside Alex's, fractured legacies, the theme. Opening night buzzed, champagne flutes, air kisses from critics. James showed, Emily in tow, his parents beaming from the corner. Proud, his father mouthed across the room. Post-show, high on validation, David pulled Alex into a coat-check nook. This us, them, it's working, their smile faltered. Yeah. But the pull. It's still there. Before he could probe. Alerts pinged. Travel bans. Cases spiking. The world tilted. Lockdown hit like a freight train, city emptying. Sirens wailing. David and Alex hunkered in the loft, baking sourdough and binging pose, laughter a shield. Family Zooms bridged miles. Sophie's first steps pixelated, James's jokes landing flat. Miss the chaos, he'd say, screen lagging. His parents adapted slow, his father fumbling tech, his mother sending care packages of canned goods and guilt. Stay safe, boys. She'd sign off, the plural a quiet win. Isolation bred intimacy. David and Alex co-created a digital zine on queer survival, pages of poetry and pixels. But cracks spidered. Alex's restlessness, David's calls home lengthening. One night, post-Zoom where James confessed relapse urges, Alex snapped. Your therapist now? For them. David bristled. Family's family. Yours, maybe. Mine ghosted me years ago. Hurt flashed. Don't make me your second choice. The fight escalated. Accusations of divided loyalties. Tears salting the air. I choose you, David roared. But Alex packed a bag. Prove it. All in. They left for their parents in Jersey space. They said. David alone. The loft echoing, Dove into work, virtual exhibits, freelance floods. Mia checked in, 6 feet apart on stoops. Don't let M break you again. Spring bloomed defiant, cherry trees pink against masked faces. News cycles spun, protests brewing, George Floyd's murder igniting fury. David channeled it, benefit prints for BLM, sales to bail funds. James called, voice thick, seeing this makes my shit small. Thanks for holding the line. David softened. We all wobble. May's heat wave mirrored inner boil. A letter arrived, handwritten, his father's script shaky. Son, this COVID's got me thinking. Regrets pile like laundry. The house, the words I was blind. Love you, gay and all. Visit soon, he did, masked and distant on the porch. Sophie waving from a playpen. Hugs through plexi, his mother's eyes misty. We've changed, she said. Church groups doing ally training. You're doing Pride Month virtualized, rainbow filters, live streams. David and Alex reconciled tentative. Porch beers, no touch. Miss you, they admitted. But betrayal's echo resounded. June's full moon. James confessed over beer, canned. Contactless, Emily's leaving. Can't forgive the lies. David's gut twisted. Counseling. Tried. She's done. James's voice cracked. Lost the house equity too. Had to sell part to settle debts. Fortune reversed again. Bitter. Stay with us, David offered. Loft's big. James nodded. Grateful. The move-in was awkward comedy. Brother in the guest room. Air thick with unspoken. Alex visited. Polite nods. Family expansion, they quipped. July's humidity peaked with conflict. A family barbecue, distanced in the yard, tensions bubbling. His father, beer loose, cornered David. James staying? Good. But that Alex. Serious. David stiffened. Why ask? Just protect yourself. World's hard on. Folks like us. The slip us hung. David pressed. Like us how? His father flushed. Me too, son. Back in Nam. A buddy. Never told. Buried it. Revelation landed like shrapnel. The homophobe. Queer-coded? Why hide? Fear. Shame. Thought it made me weak. Eyes met. Raw. Seeing you brave. Freed something. David hugged him. Masks muffling sobs. Human layers. Peeled back. But Alex pulled away post-barbecue. Too much. David. Your world's swallowing mine. Panic surged. No. Yes. I need out. They left again. Final this time. August dog days dragged. Grief twin-barreled. Lost love. Fractured family. James spiraled, job loss. Bar crawls virtual. David hauled him to NA meetings online. Tough love mirrored. Fight, bro. For Sophie, September's back-to-school haze brought resolve. David proposed group therapy, family Zoom, a shrink moderating. Sessions raw. His mother's guilt over church, father's buried self, James's addictions, David's resentments. Words unearthed like fossils. Sin was silence, his father admitted. I sinned worst. October's foliage turned therapy gold. Walks in the park. Sophie between uncles. Emily thawed. Co-parenting civil. He's trying, she allowed. But romance's void ached. David swiped half-hearted. Then deleted. One crisp night, Scrolling old texts, he dialed Alex. Voicemail. If you're hearing this, I'm on a train west. Chicago calling. Love you. Always. Gone. For real. November's election night. Biden win. Relief electric. David and James toasted on the fire escape. City horns blaring. To reversals, James said. Yeah. But some cuts scar. Winter's grip tightened. Vaccines on horizon. Christmas virtual. Sophie in reindeer ears. His parents' tree twinkling. Gifts unwrapped. For David, a leather-bound journal from his father. Inscribed multitudes. Son. Whitman nod. New Year's solitary. David resolved, build, not beg. Freelance boomed. A solo show booked for spring. But fortune circled. February 2021. Package, Alex's handwriting. Inside, a canvas. Their Saint series, unfinished. Note, finish it. For us. Tears fell. He did. Nights bleeding into dawn. Brushstrokes of ache and absolution. The show opened April. Masks optional. Crowd swelling. James there. Straight edge sober. Sophie on hip. His parents. Hand in hand. Beautiful, his mother whispered. Then, in the throng, Alex, blue hair grown out, I soft. Heard about it. Had to see. David's heart stuttered. You came. Couldn't not. Pause. Missed the mess. They talked till closing Chicago adventures. His family evolutions. Second chances? Alex ventured. David smiled. Hand extended. Third. If needed. Kiss in the alley. Snow flurrying, reversal complete. Spring 2021 unfurled like a hesitant truce. Petals pushing through pandemic scars. The city exhaling after held breath. David and Alex's reunion was no fairy tale. Stilted dinners. Therapy double dates. The work of weaving frayed threads. But love, resilient as Brooklyn brownstone, held. They moved into the loft together, James decamping to a sober house upstate, closer to Sophie and Emily's tentative cohabitation. Fresh starts all around, he'd text. Emojis optimistic. David's show reviews glowed. A humanistic triumph. One critic penned. Betrayal transmuted to beauty. Commissions cascaded. Book covers. Ad campaigns. Even a TEDx invite on queer legacies. Success felt earned. Not gifted. The house deed framed on a shelf like a relic symbol. Not chain. Family mended crooked. Monthly barbecues at the old Colonial. Now half rented. Proceeds to James's restitution. His father came out quietly, to a church elder. Then the group, I'm by, was always earning nods, not pitchforks. Your courage, he'd tell David. Eyes crinkling, lit the way. His mother bloomed too, volunteering at a local LGBTQ center. Rainbow pins on her cardigans. Better late, she'd quip, hugging Alex fierce. Sophie called David Unca Dave, toddling into his arms with sticky fingers and unfiltered joy. Summer hummed with vaccines and vaccines, freedom's shot. Pride reclaimed streets. Floats thumping bass. David and Alex marching hand in hand. James and Emily waving from the sidelines with Sophie in a tiny rainbow tutu. Look at us, James yelled over the din. Dysfunctionals unite. Laughter-free. Cathartic. Betrayal's sting dulled to lessen. Humans err, but choose redemption. Fall brought depth. Alex's book deal. A memoir on non-binary navigation. David's illustrations gracing pages. They traveled light, Amtrak to Chicago, visiting Alex's estranged folks. Awkward teas thawed to tears, his mother-in-law whispering, "Thank you for bringing them home. Fortune's wheel." Spinning familial. Thanksgiving anchored tradition. The house, tables groaning, Sophie smashing yams. Toasts circled, James to sobriety, his father to truths told, Emily to second acts. David raised his glass, to sins absolved. Not by God's, but us. His mother's eyes shimmered. Amen. Winter's hush cradled reflection. Christmas Eve. Snow blanketing the suburbs. David and Alex drove up, tree lots twinkling. The family gathered, carols off-key, gifts piled. In the den, his designs on walls, bold and unapologetic, his father pulled him aside. The rest of the house? Sell it. Start your own legacy. David blinked. You sure? Nod. We've got enough. You build bigger. Tears pricked. Hug tight. Love you. Pop. New Year's dawned collaborative. David and Alex plotting a joint studio in Westchester. Commutable. Communal. James proposed partnership. Sober construction crew. We flip houses for queer youth shelters. Vision sparked. In 2022 bloomed bold. The first shelter broke ground. Ribbons cut amid cheers. Sophie scattered dirt. Tiny hard hat askew. Media swarmed, Brothers Redemption. Headlines hummed. But deeper, James mentoring at NA. Emily's art therapy practice thriving. His parents' church ally chapter expanding. Romance deepened. Alex's ring on David's finger. Simple gold. Engraved multitudes. Proposal on the High Line. Sunset gilding the Hudson. Marry me? In all the mess. Yes, Alex breathed. Forever. Wedding summer 23. Backyard affair at the old house. Sold but loaned for the day. Tents strung lights. Band playing Springsteen. Vows human. Humorous. David promising to fight fair. Love fierce. Alex. To hold space. Even in silence. James best man. Toast teary. From sins to saints. To family. Chosen and given. Dance floor swirled. His father twirling his mother. Sophie giggling between legs. Alex pulled David close. Slow sway. Happy. Reversed, he murmured. Fortune's kind. But life layers tragedy soft. October that year. His father's heart faltered. Mild attack. Stents and scares. Hospital vigil echoed James's. Family huddled. Recovery slow, but spirit unbroken. Live true at the end, he'd rasp. David's hand in his. Spring 24 brought Sophie's preschool grad. Cap and gown minuscule. David filming through misted eyes. Alex pregnant? No, surrogacy talks bubbled. Dreams deferred but dawning. By November 2025, the wheel steadied. Shelters multiplied. David's graphic firm hummed. Alex's second book shortlisted. Family dinners weekly. Stories cycling, betrayals to blessings. One eve. Porch swing creaking. David and James nursed beers. Stars winking. Remember the house toast? James asked. David chuckled. Sin to salvation. Reversed. Clink. Inside. Alex read to Sophie. His parents dozing by fire. David watched. Heart full, dramatic. Emotional. Romantic. Human. Fortune. Capricious. Had circled back. Not perfect, but profoundly theirs. In America's vast tapestry, Queer threads woven bold, they claimed their stitch. The end? No, lives don't end. They reverse, renew, endure.